Hello and welcome to another Ef2000 Tactcom Let's Play video. Today we're going to go into the simulator and into the advanced missions and escort some C17s. We're going to take off from Christian's airbase and rendezvous with the C17s and escort them over Norway. So let's do this. We're going to check our loadout. We're going to have an extra pair of alarm missiles, which are good for anti-aircraft and SAMs, and otherwise we're going to keep everything else. I've done this mission before, and there are at least four surface-to-air missile launchers in the area, so I'm not going to rely on my wingmen to take them out. So I've carried 4 missiles and we're going to take them out ourselves. Let's have a look at the map. So there's 4 waypoints on this mission, and we're starting off at the runway. Let's have a quick look round with the smart view. There's an E767 AWACS, so it can tell us where the planes are, enemy planes are. And there's already a couple of or 3 or 4 MiG-29s in the area. Put our engines on. And we're going to have a look around. We've got 1 wingman on this mission at least. And we're going to taxi straight to the runway. I was going to cheat and just go over the grass, because doing this mission before, the C-17s get attacked quite early.
Copy.
We're going to put our electronic countermeasures on now and just let everybody know we're around, and just block all these radar locks, and tell our wingmen to also turn their electronic countermeasures on. So we're on the runway, full throttle and full power, and off we go. Our wingmen are going to do the full circuit on the airport, so we're just going to take off first and get our first shots in.
Airborne.
We can use our afterburners and fly straight to the C-17s at the second waypoint, because they're just like sitting ducks at the moment. They move so slow and they don't have any air-to-air capability. I think they've got chaff and flares, but because they're so slow and heavy, any sort of missile on them is going to finish them off. So we can see at the top of the mini map on the top right hand side of the screen, there is an enemy airplane. There's the C-17. That's what we got to protect. It's a huge beast. And here are the enemy airplanes. There's at least 4 of them, so we're just going to head straight there. We're heading about Mach 1 at the moment. Mach 1 is the speed of sound. And they've already seen us now and they're locking onto us. So we're going to gain some altitude and speed. So when we launch our missiles, the S225 missiles, they've got the best chance of hitting the enemy airplanes. The S225 missiles has got a useful range of about 50 miles. And the enemy fighter is about 70 miles away, at about 8,000 feet. And they're already heading straight towards us. The C-17s are just ahead of us, so we just need to get between the C-17s and the enemy airplanes, and that's the best chance of us protecting them. The S225s have got their own radar, so we can just fire and forget. And they got some stealth capability as well, so The enemy airplanes hopefully won't see them until it's too late. The enemy MiG-29s appear to be losing altitude for some reason. We want to have the altitude advantage, so we're going to continue to climb. There they are. Now, our missiles have got a longer reach than they have, so we can shoot first. And they'll be able to get them before they can shoot theirs, because their missiles, in their longest range missiles, are not as long as ours. And our first missiles are away. If you shoot and then press C, you'll cycle to the next target, and then you can shoot again. Right, we've done all we can, so we're going to turn around. Remember, we're on our own at the moment, so our wingman is still probably taxiing on the runway. So we're going to turn around 180 degrees and turn and burn. Use our afterburners. So hopefully our missiles will be flying straight into them, and they'll be flying straight towards us. And their missiles are going to lose fuel before they hit us. So we're just going to skip to the wingmen, their view, and we can just see they're still on the runway. They're not even taken off yet. So we're going to aim to level off at about 40,000 feet. And the enemy MiGs are launching chaff to fool our missiles. Just going to whiz off. Just to wait till our missiles have done their work.
Splash 1.
They're launching chaff like nobody's business, and we've got one. Smoke coming out of the MiG-29 there. I think he's done for.
2 airborne.
Ah, Wingman 2's airborne.
Radar airborne.
Right, we're going to turn around now
Airborne.
and use our medium range AMRAAM missiles. They've got a useful range of about 30 miles, so we need to get in a bit closer.
Spike. 3 spike. 2 spike. 2 request permission to
We're
engage.
gonna
Warning, radar lock.
Music.
ask our wingmen to put on electronic countermeasures just to make sure they haven't, if they haven't, and tell them to engage, because they will have their S225 missiles still on board,
4 engaging.
so they can reach much further than we can,
Radar lock.
Spike.
so we've used all ours up.
3 spike. 4
And now we're in range.
Warning, radar lock.
I'm just going to wait and see if our wingmen have locked on and shot a missile at them.
Missile
engage my target.
They haven't, so I'm going to tell them to actually engage my target.
radar lock.
4 bandit.
It's taken an awfully long time.
4 spike.
You can tell if the missile's already on them because there'll be a cross through their target box.
Radar lock.
3 spike.
Right, I'm going to launch now, I'm not going to wait. Now you can see how a cross appears on their target box. That means the missile's already allocated to them. So you don't
Music
waste
on.
precious missiles on a plane that's already got a missile on them. We're going to turn around and create a bit of space between us and the enemy planes. And there's our wingman in the distance. Just going to check on the C17s. They're okay. And one of our AMRAAM missiles didn't quite make it.
Splash 3.
Okay, we've got one.
2 bandit. 2
And
engaging.
there's an infrared missile on our 6.
Music.
But I think we're outnumbering them now. If you check the mini-map, they're more friendly planes than enemy planes, so we should have this one wrapped up.
Splash 4.
And another plane's down.
4. Engaging. 2. Engaging.
I think it's safe enough to turn around.
3. Bandit.
I'm just going to do a loop. Loop the loop.
Spike.
Oh, not quite a loop. Half a loop.
Newcomer. 3. Bandit.
So that's 45,000 feet. 46,000, 47,000. We don't want to get too high because the plane will stall.
2. I'm hit.
Oh, Wingman 2's just been hit.
2. Mayday, mayday.
And I think he's done for, so best eject.
4. Splash 5. Complete.
And all the enemy planes
3.
down.
Bandit.
I don't think there's many left. No, they're all gone now. You can see all the red markers on the mini-map have gone.
Arrow go.
I'm going to tell all our wingmen to reform and continue on our way. The C17s, I believe, are at waypoint 2 already at the top of the mini-map. So we need to rush over there and make sure they're not exposed.
3. Buddy spike. Disengage.
And tell our wingmen to disengage and reform.
4. Disengaging. Stud 3.
Any
Go.
courtesy. Otherwise they'll be flying around aimlessly. I'm going to use Shift and T to speed up time as well now, as there's not much going on. I'm going to stay above the clouds because there's nothing worse than flying through clouds and you can't see anything. And there's the C17, we've targeted it and we just want to check it is a C17. So it's still intact. And it's heading along the waypoint there. And we've got no damage. Although some of our wingmen have been damaged and been destroyed. Right, we're going to press Shift W and go straight to waypoint 3 so we can cut the corner. Now we can see the top of the mini-map. There is a plane, an enemy plane, and a red cross which denotes an enemy ground target, so it's probably a surface-to-air missile. And on our radar we've picked up the enemy planes now. They're just circling around waypoint 3. And if we just have a look and see what they are, they look like S25s, SU-25s, and a few of them got ground bombs.
Engage.
So I don't know why they're circling around. So I'm going to tell our wingmen to engage those planes. I don't think there'll be much of a threat to our C-17s because they're mostly air-to-ground planes. I'm going to use Shift T, just speed up time so we can get there. Now I'm going to concentrate on to the surface-to-air missile targets now. We've switched to our alarm missiles. There's two ways you can use these. You can use these just by firing them off, and they'll just stay in the air and wait for the surface-to-air missiles to become active. Or we can wait like now and target one. If you fire one and press C, you'll target to the next surface-to-air missile, and you can launch another alarm missile at it. There we go. Now these surface-to-air missiles will only become active when you're close by, so they'll normally just stay quiet until they can find an enemy airplane to lock onto, and that's only when you can fire off your alarm missiles. So I'm going to lose altitude now, just in case they launch a missile in retaliation. So when you're low and faster, you become a very hard target to hit. Just going to go to the missile view, and as you can see, we're heading towards the surface-to-air missiles, surface-to-air missile launchers. And we've got one. They appear to be at sea, so I don't know why they're at sea, but boom! There's another one. Excellent. So we've exhausted all our alarm missiles. I'm going to switch to our air-to-air missiles. We've got our ASRAAM missiles. There's 2 left, and they're got a good effective range of about 10 miles. And our wingmen have done a good job of damaging these planes, so we're just going to finish them off.
3 bandit.
One more missile left. You can see at the centre of the HUD, when a diamond appears, that's when you want to launch a missile.
3 splash 11.
And these missiles have a habit of breaking their locks very easily, because they're infrared guided. And they lock onto a heat source like a plane's engines. So if they turn around or suddenly turn their engines off, then they can break a lock quite easily.
3 buddy spike.
Alright, they're all been dispatched. And we're going to head over to the 4th and final landing waypoint. And we're going to land this plane. Just going to straighten up. There's 43 miles to go. I was just going to check on the C17, make sure that it's okay, and it is. Just going to check our plane, see if there's any damage. Appears to be okay. We haven't got anything left to use though. All our ordnance has been expended. And I think we've got at least one wingman left. And here's the runway.
Disengage. 4 disengaging. Music off. 3 copy. 4 copy.
We'll ask the tower to land.
Condor
So we've got
recovery.
2 wingmen left.
Oslo Gardermoen using runway 1.
And the tower's telling us we can land. We press I to switch to the ILS HUD
4
and
initials.
drop our throttle back
Finals gear down.
and put undercarriage down and just make our way down into the glide slope. If you press F2, you can look around, and it will fix the center of the view to the runway.
3 on the brake. 3 finals gear down.
So this should be pretty easy. We've done this before and there's nobody around, there's no enemy planes, so we want to bring us down to about 1,000 feet and be about 140 knots, and put our little picture of the plane through those landing boxes, and keep our vertical speed between 0 and -20. There we go. Looks like it'll be a textbook landing. Nose up, and there we go. Mission successful. We're just going to head off the runway and park up, and that ends the mission. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.